Hello, people. Welcome back to the last series in my relocation vlog. I'm happy to have you here again. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do it. Why not just do it now? Like this video and share to as many you think would be needing information that I will be sharing on this video. So this is the last my travel day. The day basically I flew with Lufthansa Airlines. The day basically started with my father and my sister coming to help me pack my things. Some of the things were going home with them, other things were going with my sister. They didn't come to pack these things prior to this day because I was still using them. I was still using my fridge, my mattress, my bed and whatnot. So I just told them to come. My flight was for midnight, so they came very early in the morning. Here is my lovely sister that I troubled so much that day, but she understood that I was under duress. So here we were set to go. A church member came to carry me. My dad was also there, so he drove behind us, and here I was praying in my room. I was having the last prayer in this room. This is the same room where I had traveled and met with Calvary and done so many things on my knees. So I just wanted to have a last prayer here, and I loved it. So after going through the checking in stress, guys, checking in with Lufthansa and all of that, after going through the baggage stress and whatnot, it was finally time to board at about midnight. And then the plane was would I say it was a very big one. It was my first time flying out of the country. I've gone to Cotonou before. I don't know if that counts out of Nigeria, but flying like going further west, so it was my very first time, and so I can't really qualify if the plane was a big one or small one, but it was big in my eyes. And after all the boarding and everything, it was now time to go here. I can't even remember what I was saying, but I was just feeling myself here. And then almost immediately after settling in, it was dark, it was midnight, so I guess people wanted to sleep because people went to sleep almost immediately. I was just going through the in-flight entertainment, and I didn't really get anything to watch on the first journey of first flight of this journey. I wasn't really interested in the movies that were up for viewing. I just settled for just seeing how the trip was going and seeing where we were and how far we had left. The first flight was from Lagos to Frankfurt, was for 6 hours and about 13 minutes. Guys, I thought this flight was long until I got to the second leg of the journey that lasted for about 10 hours, 9 hours and 35 minutes. I said, what is it now? This hoodie was given to me by one lovely darling that discovered I was working on this Canada thing on YouTube. She saw me on one YouTuber's channel, and she was like, is this you? Right, that God who sees me. I so love it, and I decided to wear it on this day, and it helped me it helped me with the cold. So just while others were just going to sleep, I just decided to have like a Bible reading time, and there I was just studying, having a study time and meditation time. And not too long after this time, I was even trying to sleep, and our first meal came. We were served the first meal. Before I flew with Lufthansa, I had been on the groups. I belonged to one particular group. People had been sharing their experiences about Lufthansa food and all of that, and I was concerned because I'm not a heavy eater, but I just needed to have something to eat on the flight, and I wasn't so sure if I would like it. So I was like, okay, let me get to see what they have. But as fate would have it, I loved all the foods we were served from Nigeria up until I got to Calgary in Canada. I enjoyed the food served by Lufthansa and Discover Airlines. On this particular flight, one man had his food packed from home in a stainless steel flask. I was wowed. I said, this is good planning. Well, when I was given two options, chicken or whatever, I can't, mashed potatoes, but I went with pasta and salad. I had was that ice cream? I can't remember. Yeah, something like that. Guys, I enjoyed everything here. I only did not eat the bread. I kept it for a later time. Funny enough, that bread came with me to my final destination, but I enjoyed the food. It was yummy, and I was like, okay, people's taste buds are different. Probably the others do not enjoy the food, because even after I landed and I shared my landing story, even after I landed and I shared my story, another person, I think few days later, on one of those groups I belonged to, shared his own story and said something about not liking any of the food served. So taste buds are different. One man's meat is another man's Gary. Yeah, so here I was just enjoying the taste of the food. I wouldn't know, they would say an hungry man eats anything, but no, it wasn't that case. I totally, absolutely and genuinely enjoyed the food I was served. So in fact, they kept coming, tea or juice. Then after eating, almost immediately, I just decided to sleep. It was cold. People had, in fact, stretched out, for the people that had spaces where empty seats where they had stretched out. It was night now, right? Guys, I slept and I woke up and I discovered we still had about 4 hours. I was like, so what have I been sleeping since? And why are we still far off? It was a tiring journey. In total, altogether, the journey lasted 29 hours, including the layovers. I had a layover at Frankfurt. I had another one at Calgary, 4 hours layover before I boarded another 1 hour flight to my destination, which was Edmonton. So after about 6 hours of being in the air, before we landed again, we were served cake and tea again almost immediately before we landed. And there you see it, we had about 1 hour to landing. Guys, I just couldn't wait to get off the flight. I thought this was the longest. I didn't know that what was to come was going to be way farther and longer than this first flight to Frankfurt. Finally, we got to Frankfurt and I had about 7 hours of layover. Now, before we landed, I had to take a walk. Here I was in the washroom. I didn't even use the washroom, but I just wanted to walk because I had been sitting for too long. When we go to Frankfurt, because I booked my flight with IOM, the International Organization for Migration something, they had an agent that was waiting for me at the point of disembarking, and she helped me to the place where I was to wait for my next flight. Guys, Frankfurt airport is big, and I was so glad that I had help. I would have missed my way 1,000 times before finding my departure gate. Yeah, she was really, really helpful. Guys, I'm already having new breakout. I think from the stress and the fact that I didn't wash up last night, so that's why I just have to come wash the face now. I'm already having new breakouts. Yeah, and my acne issues. So I have these things. My face. Ladies, if you will be traveling with any of your skincare product, ensure it is less than 100 ml. If it is above, just put it in your check-in luggage. Just check it in. Well, I knew that, so I knew this information, so I was prepared. I just took these small bottles because I really needed to use them while on this journey. And when the lady was bringing it out at Frankfurt, I was like, Mobe, these people want to seize this thing. How will I cope today? But thankfully they were scattered in the bag because she had to check everything. Then she put them in this. She gave me this and Ziploc and told me that next time just do whatever. Also pour some of my face wash. I had to pour some of my face wash in this bio oil container. And when I was going through immigration at here in Frankfurt, the lady was just bringing us a thing, and I thought she was going to do stuff. I thought she was going to take them away. Rather, what she did was, because they were just scattered in my bag, she got this Ziploc bag and told me that they are liquid, so I have to pack them separately. She means that they shouldn't be able. I really need them for my face so that I don't have pimples by the time I get to my destination. I'm grateful for that. I'm able to get toothpaste, so I'll just do. Another thing that is worthy of note is that it's necessary you have like a small toothpaste with you. You know, we used to have this sachet toothpaste in Nigeria. I looked for it that Monday, the morning of my trip. I went to the market to pick up something and searched for it. They didn't have what I wanted. They had one particular paste, sachet paste, that I did not like that brand, so I couldn't get. My mouth like needed to be washed, but thankfully someone gave me. I don't know how I'm going to cope, but I'll manage, and that's it. Let me just use my serum, vitamin C serum, and moisturize the face. And then I think I'll repack my hair because it's scattered, probably because of the hair. So I'm just going to repack my hair. Yeah, just checking. Hey guys, I finally got to taste. I approached the Nigerian lady and requested. I asked if she had, and thankfully she gave me some food, so I feel relieved. Guys, 24 hours before my trip, I was able to check in on Lufthansa Airline, and I checked in online so I could have the opportunity to choose window seat. So I was able to book window seat for the 3 legs of this journey, and so that I could bring to you premium content and I would get to see the wonders of God here. So from Frankfurt to Calgary, we flew Discover Airlines. I think they're in joint partnership with Lufthansa. I think this was the food we were served and I loved it. It was tasty. Although that salad, or that thing that looks like salad, had a sour taste, like a lemon-like taste, maybe because of the fruits and everything they mixed together, but I enjoyed everything. Just the only thing I had against this flight was that they kept mixing water. They kept managing their water. You can imagine that plastic disposable cup that you would ask them for more water, they would just put it halfway. Why not fill it up or give us a bottle of water like they did in the first flight, Lufthansa flight? Why not just give your passengers a bottle of water? And I was so thirsty, I kept calling again. Then after eating, I wasn't feeling sleepy. I decided to study my Bible again, and while studying, they brought cookies, the biscuit you're saying, chocolate cookie and juice, and of course I asked for water. So after about 4 hours, I decided to check again, and I saw that we still had 5 hours and 21 minutes to go. I was like, wait, see happen, because I knew that I couldn't sleep, I just decided to see if there was a movie I could settle for, and I settled for this movie Love Again because others weren't enticing enough. I enjoyed this movie. It lasted for 1 hour 45 minutes or thereabout, and of course that helped me. So after the movie, I knew that there was nothing else I could do. I had to sleep. Then I woke up. I decided to view the wonders of God. Like this is, like I mentioned earlier, this is my first international long flight, but I just couldn't. Even if I'm to travel again tomorrow to another country, I would not be able to. I will still be amazed at the wonders of God. Like, I know I have flown within Nigeria, but we've never gotten this high, like thousands and thousands of meters away. So just before we landed, I think about 45 minutes before we landed, we were served this snack. Tasted, it was okay. Then with juice, and 30 minutes after it was time to land, and I arrived Calgary. Calgary was my point of entry. That was where I got my permanent resident slip, my confirmation of permanent resident paper stamped. Here I was just feeling myself like the good fine girl. Just look at this fine girl, daughter of Zion and child of God. Guys, finally we landed Calgary safely, and the first thing I did was to check in using the machine that was provided, and after that I went to wait my turn to meet with the immigration officer who will stamp my confirmation of permanent resident and confirm me a permanent resident. And I don't know if that man was tired or angry at me. He was telling other people, by the time it got to my turn, he just said, good luck. And I'm like, Kini, good luck. Oga, tell me welcome to Canada, Jerry. I wanted to ask him that, but he didn't tell me welcome to Canada. I said, let me leave this man, but I told myself, greater welcome to Canada. Yeah, it was something I wanted to hear, and I just told myself, haba, after trying for how many years, greater welcome to Canada. I told myself. Thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please like and share. Thank you.